Cushing's Bookshelf, episode 27, The Collected Novels of Charles Wright, by Charles Wright. So, welcome back to Cushing's Bookshelf. I am Nicole Cushing. As you may have noticed, I am joined this week by one Jasmine, the Jazzy Cat. She is there on the back of the chair, just kind of doing her own thing. It looks like she's not going to cause too much trouble, so I will allow her to stay here. In the meantime, it looks like I kind of have two heads, one human, one feline. Isn't that neat? Anyway, but that is neither here nor there, because we're here to talk about matters other than feline matters. We're here to talk about the collected novels of Charles Wright. So this is a three-novel set. I think that technically, if you were going to look at these books, they might be considered more in the novella range. One is called The Messenger, one is called The Wig, and the third one is called Absolutely Nothing to Get Alarmed About. And so this first one is like 131 pages, but the pages are big pages, as you can see. They're not, tiny pages like in a book like this. So it could be that it's actual novel length, but I have not yet actually dug into the text yet. What I have done is read the introduction, and I'm excited to read the text because of the introduction. Essentially, this is Charles Stevenson Wright, right there. There's a photograph of him. One of these obscure authors who was active, I think, in 60s, 70s, wrote transgressive fiction that played with weirdness and with taboos and with depicting street life, and got published, but has lurked in unfortunate, probably undeserved obscurity, and has had his work collected. And it's been collected for a while, but I think this is a new edition of it. And I'm excited just because he seems like he's an African-American author, and he seems to be similar to other authors who I've read along the lines of maybe Hubert Selby Jr., Caucasian authors, but also transgressive authors, authors like, based on what I've read in the introduction, it seems like he's in that same territory as like Hubert Selby Jr., Henry Miller, just kind of writing fiction that is honest and depicting, a stratus of society that has not traditionally been depicted in fiction, and doing it in a way that is funny, and doing it in a way that embraces the surreal and the transgressive. And as a writer, I identify with that. So here's a paragraph from the introduction. The introduction written by a gentleman named Ishmael Reed, who I know was a publisher of Wright at one point. Maybe he was a publisher. I'm not sure if he published any of these novels or he was active in the literary scene. But Ishmael Reed wrote the following paragraph to talk about Charles Wright. He says, his community was that of the outcasts, the rejected, the freaks, who would eventually make it into the mainstream. Some of his characters would now be referred to as sex workers. Restrooms in some places are now all gender, and those outlandish characters in Wright's novels and nonfiction, though not given credit, led to these reforms. They fought the vice squads at Stonewall and in San Francisco. And he just seems like an interesting character. There's a story here about an attempt to get him to network, to be more sociable. And it says here that every attempt to take him uptown, the image of cultural success, was rebuffed by the author. His bad manners sent an interviewer from a prominent women's magazine scurrying after he decided to urinate in public. So, fascinating fella. And I'm not sure if I would have wanted to have been around him when he was urinating in public, but I would like to be around his fiction. Who wouldn't want to be around a mind that was that unchained, that free? So, yeah, without necessarily having to see the public urination part. So, this is the book that I'm going to be reading here, and I am looking forward to it. That's all, folks. Do you have anything to say, Jasmine the Jazzy Cat? No, she's just kind of keeping quiet. All right. Take care, y'all.